Okay, so let's just jump right in. We're talking about the crazy, high stakes world of startup fundraising. A world where that first impression is literally everything. You could have the most amazing, world changing idea, but if you can't hook an investor in like the first few seconds, your chance might just vanish.
And that brings us to this. This quote is pretty brutal, but it's so true. For a lot of investors, this isn't just a catchy phrase, it's a non-negotiable rule. 10 seconds. That's the clock. So the real question is, are you ready for that test?
You've got to think of it like the ultimate password to get in the door. This little 10-second window is a make or break test that, and you might not believe this, most founders totally fail. It's where so many brilliant ideas just stop. Not because the idea is bad, but because the explanation was confusing right out of the gate.
So where does everyone go so wrong? Well, there's this really common trap that founders fall into, a mistake that pretty much guarantees an investor's eyes will glaze over instantly. Let's break down what that is so you can steer clear of it. Yup, here they are, the classics. First-time founders, they're so passionate, which is great, but they often dive right into the weeds. They start talking about all the cool features, the super complex tech, or maybe their long personal story that got them here. And look, all of that stuff feels important to you, but I promise it's not what an investor needs to hear first. This slide just nails the problem. You can see the huge disconnect here. On the left, you've got the founder, all excited about their features and tech, but on the right, what the busy investor hears is just noise and complexity. The founder shares their personal backstory, thinking it adds color, but the investor just hears a bunch of details that honestly are irrelevant right now. You think you're explaining, but they think you're just wasting their time. Okay, so enough about what not to do, right? Let's talk about the solution. Turns out there's a simple but super powerful framework that just cuts through all that noise and grabs an investor's attention right away. This is really the secret to nailing that 10-second pitch. And here it is. It's really that simple, just 3 parts. First, you start with the problem. What pain are you solving? Then you hit them with your clear solution. And finally, the part everyone forgets, you tell them why now. This structure is just so clean. It's logical, it's direct, and it answers the top 3 questions rattling around an investor's brain from the second you start talking. All right, so theory is one thing, but let's see what this looks like in the real world. We're going to walk through a perfect example of this formula in action. Just notice how each little piece builds on the one before it. First step, the problem. See how specific that is? It's not just, oh, bookkeeping is annoying. Nope. It's a specific group, small businesses, and a specific, painful number, $50,000 a year. An investor hears that and immediately gets the market and just how big of a headache this really is. And bam, right after the problem, you give them the solution. It's so direct. We automate it. And that little extra bit, using AI that's finally accurate enough, that's just brilliant. It hints at the cutting-edge tech without getting lost in technical jargon. It answers what you do and how you do it, all in one sentence. And this is the clincher. This is what creates that feeling of urgency. Why is this a smart bet today? By tying it to a huge, recent tech leap like GPT-4, you're creating a powerful reason to act now. You're basically telling the investor, hey, a brand new door just opened, and we're the first ones through it. So let's put it all together and just hear how it sounds. Small businesses lose $50K annually to manual bookkeeping. We automate it using AI that's finally accurate enough. Timing's perfect because GPT-4 just made this possible. See? It's clear, it's compelling, and it takes, 7 seconds? That is a pitch that gets you a second meeting. And this, right here, is the absolute key. If an investor looks confused after you speak, our first instinct is to just keep talking, to add more details, and that is a huge mistake. The goal isn't to add more words, it's to make your existing words hit harder. Being concise shows you really understand what you're doing. So now you've got the formula, and that means this whole lesson is really turning into a challenge for you. It's your turn to take this and run with it. Okay, so here's your homework. Your mission. Take this formula and build your own 10-second pitch. Then you've got to go test it. Find a friend, a coworker, or even a stranger at a coffee shop and just try it on them. Your goal isn't to wow them, it's just to be understood instantly. If they get it, great, you're on the right path. But if you see even a flicker of confusion in their eyes, you know it's time to go back, tighten it up, and try again. We've laid out the tools, we've given you the winning formula, so now the only question left is the one right here on the screen.
What's your 10-second pitch? Really think about it, work on it, and get ready to make that first impression count.